Ms. Mandaza, thank you for joining us on BRICS Africa channel.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
How is the mining Indaba going for you?
Wow, it's so interesting. The conference is so huge, and I'm seeing the turnout for this year is actually quite good. I've been coming to the mining Indaba for the past couple of years now, and I must say I'm so impressed by the quality of conversations that are actually happening in this place. I'm also impressed by how they're also incorporating women into mining discussions. It's really exciting, and I'm also equally happy with the clients, potential clients that I'm meeting for the bank, and the opportunities that we are also picking to fund and to make a difference in the mining sector as a bank.
Stanbic obviously has some goals set for this sector. Please share some of them with us.
So as a bank, we are very active in the mining sector, and we have been for quite a long time. We have been operating in Zimbabwe as a bank for 34 years. So we have gathered the expertise and the knowledge about the challenges that are in the mining sector. And as a bank, what we seek to do and what our mining finance is doing is that we are no longer, we've since moved away from financing standalone mining operations. We have evolved to financing the entire mining value chain, from exploration to production to beneficiation, processing, refining, manufacturing. What we are saying is that mining projects, they become bankable when they move to processing, to downstream industries. The conversations actually become easier. So we prefer to actually add value to the entire value chain to de-risk some of the challenges that we face when we are considering mining projects for funding.
And what kind of risks that you guys look at when junior miners especially, once you get into the industry, and their problem has always been, and it's always now, that financing is a stumbling block.
Banks are worried about a lot of risks. Infrastructure gaps, for instance, lack of an off-taker, the market, if it's there at all. We are worried about the policies in our own countries, whether they make it conducive to attract the capital that's needed for mining operations. When they then approach banks for funding of certain projects, we want to be comfortable that if we put in money, that money will be repaid back with no stories or issues. So we are worried about things like that. So whenever there are those problems, you find we demand for guarantees or some sort of risk cover to cover us against any shock that may actually happen.
Minister Mantashe 2 days ago was speaking about the approach for beneficiation, that countries don't need to only compete with each other but have an approach of processing. Where are the banking sector in that conversation?
So financial institutions actually assist in driving industrialization. And I will explain to you why and how. So it's important that we develop our own continent as Africans. And financial institutions, they play a role facilitating, like Standard Bank. They do play a role of facilitating the establishment of public-private partnerships to put together parties that are willing to sustainably develop infrastructure. We are talking rail, we are talking roads, ports upgrades, we are talking border upgrades. So those are the infrastructure areas that we look at, because in the long run, they stand to benefit the continent as a whole. So it is important that governments, they work in collaboration. And as financial institutions, we do support and push through regional integration. And our bank has an advantage of having representation in about 21 African countries. So we are best placed to coordinate all those governments, institutions, finance, other finance players that want to jump in and syndicate on some of the facilities, because normally infrastructure projects, they require huge sums. So we can bring together governments, financial institutions, private players, and we sit down and we map the way forward and we come up with solutions which can actually benefit the entire continent.